Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is February the 9th, 2022, and this is my Flosstube video number 34. I would first like to say hello and welcome to all of the new subscribers that I have gotten. I have had an increase in subscribers, and I thank you so very much for checking me out and seeing if what I stitch you might be enabled by. To all of my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for returning to view my video every time I upload. I really do appreciate all of you. I have been quite busy since the last time I recorded a video at the end of January. Pardon me. I ended up last week, when you have help come, you have to take the help when it comes. And as it turns out, my youngest daughter came over to help me get my office moved from downstairs to upstairs, and so that's why I wasn't put out a video last week. Now I'm getting a frog in my throat. You wouldn't believe I have actually restarted this video 4 times because every time something different happens. So, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to keep going on because I cannot keep stopping and starting over again. So I have been stitching quite a bit, and I'm going to share some of my January monthly stats along with February. I know that I had said that I was going to do a haul video last time that I recorded, and I just didn't have time to get to it. So I will be doing a haul video, because if I do a haul video along with a project video, it'll be a long video. So we're going to go with that. The first, I would first like to show you, I've had a finish for January and so far a finish for February. The January finish is this is Stronger Together by the Fat Quarter Shop. It was put out last February for Black History Month, and I had a goal to have it finished before Stronger Together 2 started, and I did meet that goal. I finished this on January. Okay, it doesn't say. Now I know I put it on here though. Guess it doesn't matter. I finished it in January. Oh, I remember now. I finished this on January the 31st. Yes. Actually, no, I finished it on January the 17th, which was Martin Luther King Day, and I was off, so I finished it then. I'm trying to add more information to my calendar so that when I finish things and start things, I can give you more accurate information. It also helps me because I'm trying to track different things, like how many starts I had versus how many finishes I had in a month. And so it also helped with that. Also, I had another finish in February, and this month the designer focus is hands-on design. And so I pulled out my year celebration February, and it is really being blown out. Year celebration February, and I finished this the way that I wanted it. There are like button motifs that are in this heart. However, I wasn't into that, so I finished it like this. This is on a 14 count pink Ada that I probably got out of the remnant basket when I visited Keepsakes last year. And I used to call for DMCs. I am going to be working on trying to get this finished up. My youngest daughter's favorite color is pink. And so I think that would make a really good, she doesn't watch these videos, so it won't matter. And I think it would make a really cute Valentine's Day gift for her. So those were my two finishes, one for January and one for February. And I had a few new starts in January that I had not been able to show you just yet. So now I'm going to show you those. My first January start that I'm going to show you is out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine, February 2022, and it is Snowflake Sampler. And I got a very small start on it. However, I love it because I love snowflakes. That was right up my alley. I knew I was going to start it. So here is my start. I am stitching this on a 18 count Charles Craft Ada dyed by Mystic fabric. And there was no name. I actually purchased this fabric at Stitchin. And there you can see the modeling of it. This piece will actually fit the sampler, but I love it. I am using DMC Blanc as the for the floss on this. And again, I started this at the very end of the month just so that I would be able to put it into my rotation when I need to. And the fabric is awesome. I do like Mystic fabrics. I don't have a lot of it, but I do like with the couple of pieces that I do have. I really do enjoy them. The holes don't shrink because I'm actually stitching that with 2 strands. So I guess it just, so I was having this conversation with, on the Zoom call for Magazine Monthly, 1 strand versus 2 strands on 18 count. And I have an 18 count that I am using only 1 strand, and it has great coverage. And I tried using 1 strand with the Mystic fabric, and the coverage wasn't good at all. So I learned a lesson to just go with what the fabric is. There's no hard, fast rules for stitching, 1 thread versus 2 threads on whichever count you want. So it was really good coverage with that. Okay. The next new start I have, and I started this the last weekend also of January, is The Letter K by Nora, Corbett. And I'm sorry, my light is just like, and I have a small start on this also. I am stitching this on a gray 28 count Lugana, and I started right in the middle. I think I have it upside down. No, I don't. I started right in the middle of where this greenery is. So it is right about there is where I am. And I am using the called for, if I have it, these charts are older, and so when it comes to, so it's still on the charts, it calls it crescent colors. So when I'm finding those, as it turns out, that greenery is in Desert Mystique, and I had it. So, and I have most of the colors that are on there. And so that is my start for the letter K. And that was for, I started that for the designer focus Nora Corbett or Mirabilia for January. The next piece I started in January was my WIPGO piece. And this was WIPGO, the number 19. And my number 19 was to start a new autumn project. And so I started the November Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I started with the roof. And so, yes. So here is where I did manage to get to. So I have the roof and then the white, there's a white line stitching underneath, and this is the top of the trees. So that was my WIPGO. So I did meet that that goal with that project, with starting it. WIPGO was a little, with all of the projects for the Bringo, WIPGO really took a back seat in January. However, I'm back on track, and I'm not even worrying about it because there's so much going on as far as stitching with Bringo. And when we start AB Singo in September, I've already modified what I'm going to be doing, so that I'm not all wah when it comes time to do that. So I have one more January start that I would like to share. As you know, Miss Susan made me this beautiful project bag for my Christmas gift. When I did get to Stitch Away, she accessorized the bag, and she got me a floss. She made me a floss fancy for my birthday, and I have my threads in it for my new start. And see, even the inside has little turtles on it. And she also made me a carry-all bag in the same fabric. And this was my birthday gift from her. So thank you, Miss Susan, so much. You know how much I adored this. So my new start is, and I should have took this out of the plastic. I'm so sorry. But I'm sure you all know by now what it is. If you've been around for a while, you'll know. It is Quaker Turtle by AuryTM. And I have a very small start. Lynn Dorney, Lynn X Stitches Creates, and I started this project at Stitch Away for our birthday month, Sal. And I haven't touched it since then. I did make a start And that is the small start that I have. And I am stitching this on a 40 count. It's my first 40 count project. I was super excited. I had, well, so let me tell you a story about this little project. I'm not sure, I've told it a couple of times, like in Zoom groups. And so I started stitching this, and that's the reason why there's so little. But I was using one thread over one. And so it looked like little dots until the wandering stitcher stopped me and was like, "What are you doing?" And then once she got me back on track, I was able to put it in. I was doing this literally 1 over 1 instead of 1 over 2. So the fabric is large enough for me to get it all on there. This fabric was a gift from Miss Susan, and so you can see how minuscule that start is. But after I had stitched it 1 over 1, took out those stitches, and then put in those other little stitches, I was like, okay, I'll have to come back to it. But it was really funny. I had a good laugh at it. But I don't think stitching 1 over 1 on 40 count will ever be done by me, because it was rough. So I am hoping to get some more progress on this, since it was so. And now that I'm at home, I did not put it on scroll rods because I didn't want to have to worry about carrying those to stitch away. But now I can put it on a scroll rod, since it will not be traveling. It will not travel. So that was my Quaker turtle piece. And that is the end of all of the January new starts. So February new starts. Again, this is Hands-on Designs, Designer Focus Month. And so I started a chart. She is so wonderful. Her husband is very supportive. And every year she designs a piece for their anniversary. And I have a couple. And so I started this one. It's called I Love You, or Love You. And that is what it looks like. And I'm sorry, the picture is black and white. This was done quite a while ago. And she does give fabric. However, I had a different vision, and so I'm going with my vision, with the vision I have. I am stitching this on a 14 count Fortnite fabric, and the color is Carnation. Again, I was in their Flowers and Mushroom Club when they very first launched their fabric club. And you can't really tell here, but I am using a variegated DMC, and it's number 52. So it goes from light purple all the way to very dark purple, and this is the darkest purple. And so for the love, I did not fussy cut it, but I used certain parts of the thread just to make sure it had the look that I wanted. And so the color variegates down the letters, and the arrow that's going through the word will be in a lighter purple, and then the dark purple will be the U. Oh, you can see it a little better right there. I am loving this fabric. I am loving that floss. This is another piece that I'm considering for my youngest daughter. I'm not sure that, at least not this year, but I'm going to continue to stitch on it so that I can maybe give it to her next year. But it's just like, I love this piece. I am also going to be stitching on this for Athena's Stitching Goddess Design, Athena. Her birthday is on Valentine's Day, and she asked if you wanted to stitch on her birthday to stitch in pink or purple. And so, Athena, this is the project I will be stitching on for your birthday. I will link her below. She also makes the t-shirts that I wear if they are cross-stitch design t-shirts. She sells them on Facebook, and I can link the Facebook group also below. I'm writing a note. So that was Love You by Hands On Design. And then I have one more new start. And this is for Black History Month. And it is Stronger Together 2. And I am stitching what they are calling the striking version, which is that. I am using the called for DMC flosses. However, I chose to stitch mine on a 14 count Graceful Gray by WIPGO. And here is what I have so far. The border is purple. This stitching right here is brown, and then yellow, blue, yellow. I will be stitching on this every Wednesday, since that is the day that Fat Quarter Shop does their Flosstube. So I've put in some work last Thursday actually, and then again today. So it is coming along nicely. This is a free chart on their blog and website. They do ask that you make a $15 donation, and the donations all go to the United Negro College Fund. If you are a supporter and subscriber, I would ask that you would support this endeavor for UNCF. They help African American children continue with college expenses, and so I would appreciate any support that you could give that. So those were all of my new starts so far for February. So now I'm going to move into WIPs. And oh no, I have one WIP for January. Sorry. So we were doing the Nora Corbett. The designer focus was Nora Corbett for January. And I do not have a picture right now of this, but I worked on Sunflower Fairy for Sunday the 30th on the Zoom group. And here's a picture of where I was when I last worked on it. And here is a picture, and here's where I am at now. So what I did was I can't get it straight. Okay. I continued down from the middle and came all the way up and around here. So the fairy is actually, her foot would go right there. There are a few more stitches that I need to put in. There's a flower bud right here. So I'm going to, the next time I pick this up, I'm going to put that flower bud in, and then I can come back up and around and put the rest of the sunflower in. I think I'm going to do all of the sunflower first before I put the fairy in. So there is where I am. It was really great. I from this Sunday going forward, I'm going to utilize those Sunday stitching Zoom meetups to work on the designer focus projects. With the only exception is on when there's a bag sale for Garon on Saturday, we don't Zoom on Sunday, and so I'll have to just continue on, even though I won't be Zooming with them. But to stitch that much, like, you get a lot of stitching in, and I really, really, really did appreciate that. So that was Sunflower Fairy. I did get that out of the magazine that was gifted to me by my friend Julie, and I'm making progress on it. So my next WIP is Sunshine on a Stem by Hands on Design. And here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And I have a board right here. And here is where I am now. So I finished all of the words, the sunshine on a stem. And as it turns out, I was like, why is this so close? As it turns out, I missed one stitch in this vase. And so I was like, I don't care. I'm not taking all of that out. I'm going to make it work. And so that is exactly what I am doing. My goal for this piece is to finish it this month. So I still have to put in the rest of, there's 2 more flower petals here, and then a flower over here, and then it'll be completed. And I do think that that's a doable goal if I utilize my Sunday, like this coming Sunday. If I utilize that and stitch on this, then I should be able to have it finished by the end of the month. So that was Sunshine on a Stem. I literally went through and pulled out hands-on design projects that I really wanted to work on and get some good progress on. And so that is what I did. So my next WIP that I worked on was hands-on design, chock full, and it's the hip hop. This was charted by Kathy, and the design was drawn by Priscilla Blain of Stitching with the Housewives. And here is a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And here is where I am now. So it's very difficult to see, unfortunately, because of the lighting, but I was able to put in the pink around the bunny ear. I had to make a correction here, and that's why it's not, I need to put that floss back in. I put pink in 3 of the bunnies, and I put the ears, the pink in the ears, the mouth, and the little nose. I do think I'm going to take out the pink in the brown bunnies. I have 2 white bunnies and 2 brown bunnies, chocolate bunnies. And I think I'm going to take out the pink in the chocolate bunnies and make them black, because the pink is too close to the color brown that I used. So another goal that I have for this piece, maybe if I back up a little bit, is I want to start filling in the really tilly for the glass jar. This came out in 2019. Some came out in 2019 and some came out in 2020. So, but that is my chock full hip hop. I have the small one done also. I already have the small done for it. I need to fully finish it. And it would be nice to be able to finish that before spring gets in. I don't decorate with bunnies for Easter. I don't do that. The Easter bunny didn't save me, so sorry that, that's how I feel, but I will put it out for spring. So that was chock full hip hop. My next whip that I would like to show you is my WIPGO call, and it is number 17 for this month. And my number 17 is, I should have took that out, Seasonal Sun Sign by Ink Circles. And here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And here is where I am now. And I'm sorry about the threads. I'm doing my version of parking. So I finished the very first block, which was the, this is the harvest, the autumn equinox block, I believe. And I finished it all except for the very middle piece. And one of my friends, Miss Gail, she also finished this entire piece, and she made it into the block. It's shown two ways on the chart, either in a frame or in the block part. She finished hers in the block, and instead of using stitches, she used beads, and I loved it. And so I am going to do that exact same thing. So the actual sun part of the chart for all four parts will not be completed until the very end, because I'm going to put beads in those areas across. Also, with finishing this entire block, I started bringing over the brown for the next season, which is winter. And I worked some more on this outer border. I still have, so I, used a thread and finished that thread and put in, so now I'll put in, I'll just keep moving the border down across as I go, and the same with the brown. Each season is within the brown block, so I'll just keep moving the brown down till I get to the very end. I love this piece. I could work on this piece and nothing else. Well, maybe not nothing else, but it is on my WIPGO board 4 times this year, so you will see it whenever it's called again. I do have more time that I need to put in on it for this month. So I do 2 weeks per project. One, I was doing it every other week. Right now, I'm doing it. I'm going to focus on the whole 2 weeks on this one project, because The other project number that was called was number 5, and that is my winter snowflake. And it is huge, and so I want to just be able to set it up for 2 weeks and leave it set up. And so I decided to do the seasonal sunshine 2 weeks, and then I'll do the winter snowfall for 2 weeks for my WIPGO. That's one great thing about moving my office stuff upstairs, is that when I put my project on my table clamp, I can literally leave it and just swing it out of the way when I need to. So that was my WIPGO for February. And last but not least is my temperature butterflies. And this is what my, when I finish, this is what my stitch piece will finish at. This is what it'll look like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. So I finished all of January and started on February. So there are a number of us doing this chart. So let me explain some information, color information to you. This is the January the 1st, and it was 58 degrees here. The lighter, so in this area, which is more typical of what we have, it is in the 30s, and then there are some days where it's much cooler, but they are more spread out. I am going to figure out how to take a picture of the colors and put it into the video so that you'll see, like, from this temperature range to this temperature range, this is what I used. I am stitching this on a 28 count. It like flew right out of my head. Artemis by Stitch Me. And for the outlining, I am using the called for DMC. It is $37.99. And for the colors, I am using Sulky 1 thread over 2. And I love it. When it doesn't really show, and I'm sorry, this pattern is by Stitching Mommy. Again, there are a number of us working on this. Jody's Creative Corner on Instagram and Flosstube is working on it. EJ is working on it. I love it. So I'm very glad that EJ talked me into using the sulkies, which you can't really tell here, but because I'm using the DMC for the outlining and then using the sulkies, it looks more dimensional, because sulky doesn't lay flat like DMC does, and so it actually has like a little curve on it because of the way it is laying. And the coverage with that 1 thread is awesome. My butterflies are being stitched. So this side of the butterfly is all odd numbers, and this side is all the even numbers. I am going to wait to put the back stitching in I actually could do it now. My thought process is that once I get the butterfly completely finished, then I'll go back in and put his antennae on for each one of them. And so I will be getting started with the March outline probably in the next week or so. I do have the first 4 days of February, and I do record each day the temperatures every couple of days, and so this weekend I'll be putting in the rest of this week. Yeah. It is much more stitching. If you've done her temperature tree with the leaves and all of that, the butterflies do have more stitching. I mean, you can see next to my hand, they're pretty big. But I love it. I love this piece. And so I'm going to figure out some kind of way to be able to show you what the colors are as I'm stitching them, because of course right now they're mostly cool colors. I will be pulling all of the sulky for the entire chart. You know, when we move from season to season, then I'll pull the colors for the next season. But we have a ways to go because it's just the beginning of February here, and we could have another massive snowstorm like we had a week ago. So now that brings me up to plans, and my first plan is that on this coming Sunday I'm going to work on the Sunshine on a Stem. I'm like, why can I not think? I'm going to work on Sunshine on a Stem on Sunday. And then on the 14th, I'm going to work on Love You for Athena's. Her Instagram and Flosstube is Stitching Goddess Designs, and I'll link her below. For her birthday, I'm going to work on Love You because it's on pink fabric with purple threads. And then I'm going to work, this Saturday actually will be the last week that I work on Seasonal Sun Sine. And then I will start on Winter Snowfall. And I'm really, really hopeful that I don't get burnt out on white stitching. In the month of January, I did a lot of white stitching, and Winter Snowfall is all white stitching for right now. Like, I have a long way to go before I can get to putting colors in. So we'll see. I'm going to go with it. Then I have a couple of new starts that I want to, I'm putting in my plans. So for Black History Month, my friend Gina, and her Flosstube name is Out on a Limb. I'll link her below. Gina, you know I love you. I just can't think of what your Flosstube is right now. But she gifted me this pattern. I saw her finish of this pattern last year or year before last, and she gifted me this pattern. It is called Freedom, and it is by the Primitive Hair. It is, the chart date says 2014 on it, and I am going to start this for Black History Month. And then Miss Sheila enabled me, not this past Saturday's video, but the Saturday before that, with Rosen Desiree 1820, and I will be starting this also this coming week. This sampler was stitched by a 16-year-old African-American. Desiree was an African-American student at a school, and this is the first African-American sampler that I've ever seen, and so I am going to stitch it. It was designed and charted. It was recharted by Works by ABC, which is Arlene Cohen, and you can get it at her Etsy shop, and I will link that below. I can't wait to start this. It's awesome to have a sampler, an African-American sampler. It's very nice, very, very nice to have that, to know that someone found one and was able to reproduce it. It's very special. I will also this month, my last hands-on design project that I will be starting is the anniversary piece that she did for Mr. HOD this year for their 34th wedding anniversary. And it is Wear Love. I dyed my own fabric brown. I dyed it brown last night, and I think it turned out pretty good. And so I will be starting that also. I'm not sure that I'm starting it this week, probably on the 20th, since I already have something to work on for the 13th. But that is that. So those are my plans coming up for this week and a little bit, beyond the month. I'll also be making sure that I keep up to date on my temperature butterfly, because I did a lot of stitching on that to get January completed. I did not want to go too far into February still working on January, so there, so that I can stay up on it. So I would like to thank you once again for coming and hanging out with me and seeing what I've been working on. I am trying to make sure that I can get back on schedule with the Wednesday recording and uploading of the videos. And it is, I'm doing fine. I just need to keep a good rhythm going between work and this and some other projects that I'm working on. Pardon me. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. Please remember to be kind. I hope everyone is staying warm. These months are difficult for a lot of different people with the cold and being stuck in the house. Like the snowstorm hit last Wednesday, and I didn't leave my house. Like, my car was frozen shut. My back door was frozen shut. Like, I had to go out the front door, go all the way around the house, chip the ice off and the snow in order to open up my back door. Albert has never been out the front door, so when I told him that he had to go out the front door, he was just like, what in the world is going on here? So with that, I am going to bid you a good night. I have to get up early in the morning, and that means I need to be getting ready to go to bed. So you all have a very good week. I will see you next week, and good night.